Seniors, this vitamin stops cramps and restores leg strength like you're 40. Seniors, what if I told you that one overlooked vitamin could end those sleepless, cramp-filled nights and even help you feel stronger than you have in years? For years, treatment for leg cramps has often focused on medications, but research shows there's another approach, like a natural option that many people aren't aware of. In fact, nearly 8 out of 10 seniors who suffer from nighttime leg cramps may be low in just one key nutrient. And here's the encouraging part. There are 3 essential vitamins that can make a real difference. They don't just ease muscle cramps, they may also help your legs feel stronger and more steady. These insights are based on trusted, peer-reviewed research and clinical evidence. And wait until you hear about the first vitamin. Studies suggest it may improve muscle strength by up to 58% in just 6 weeks for some older adults. Before we dive in, I'd like to hear from you. Have you ever been woken up in the middle of the night by a cramp so painful it made you jump out of bed? Does climbing stairs feel harder than it used to? Share your experience in the comments. We read and reply to everyone, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more health tips made just for seniors. Now let's get started. Number 3, vitamin D. Unlock the power you didn't know you had. When most people hear vitamin D, they think of bone health. But here's what I tell my patients. This vitamin isn't just for your bones, it's for your muscles too. And if you're dealing with leg cramps or feel like your legs aren't as strong as they used to be, vitamin D could be the missing ingredient you didn't even know you needed. Here's why this is important. When sunlight hits your skin, your body makes vitamin D3. That vitamin D3 travels through your bloodstream to your muscles, where it acts like a key to unlock tiny locks on each muscle cell. Without enough vitamin D, those locks close and your muscles don't function properly. That's when cramps, weakness, and fatigue start to set in. And this isn't just a theory, and now it's backed up by research. A study from the University of Zurich followed 248 older adults for 2 years and found that those with vitamin D levels below 30 nanograms per milliliter experienced leg cramps 3 times more often than those with normal vitamin D levels. But here's the kicker. When these participants were given 2,000 IU of vitamin D per day, their cramps were reduced by 68% after just 8 weeks. But vitamin D's role goes beyond reducing cramps. It helps regulate how calcium moves in and out of muscle cells. If there's not enough, calcium gets held back, causing muscles to contract when they don't need to. That's your cramp. Even more interesting, vitamin D actually activates genes that help build new muscle proteins, giving muscles the tools to repair themselves from the inside out. And here's where things get complicated. As we age, our skin produces a lot less vitamin D. In fact, a 70-year-old produces about 75% less vitamin D from the same amount of sun exposure than a person in their 20s. This means that for most seniors, getting enough vitamin D requires more than just sunlight. So how do you do it? I recommend a 3-step approach. Sun exposure. Try to get about 15 minutes of midday sun exposure on your arms and legs whenever possible. Food sources. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel provide about 400 IU per serving. Egg yolks and fortified milk can also provide small amounts. Supplements. For most seniors, the ideal dose is 2,000 to 4,000 IU per day. Take it with your main meal, preferably one with a healthy fat like olive oil or avocado to help your body absorb it better. Let me tell you a story. James, a 76-year-old retired bus driver from Ohio, came to see me last fall. He had struggled with painful nighttime leg cramps for years and had given up going for evening walks because his legs felt so weak. His vitamin D level, just 20 nanograms per milliliter, well below the healthy range. We started him on 3,000 IU a day with breakfast. Within 6 weeks, his cramps had gone from nighttime to occasional. After 3 months, he told me, "The doctor, I can finally walk around the house without stopping. I feel like my legs belong to me again." The key to vitamin D is consistency. Get your vitamin D levels checked every 6 months, aim for 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter, and stick with your supplement regimen. Over time, these small, steady improvements can make big changes to your strength, balance, and quality of life. Vitamin D is powerful, but the next vitamin on our list works in a completely different way, and its effects may surprise you. Number 2, vitamin B12, rewiring your muscles and nerves. If vitamin D fuels your muscles, vitamin B12 makes sure the signals from your brain actually reach them. I often describe it this way: your muscles are like appliances, but B12 is the wiring. Without it, the connection weakens, and your muscles simply can't do their job. When you don't get enough B12, the protective coating on your nerves called myelin begins to break down. Imagine an old extension cord with cracked insulation. The electrical signal flickers, sometimes working, sometimes not. This is why B12 deficiency often shows up as cramps, tingling, burning sensations, or even that strange legs made of jelly feeling. This isn't a rare issue. A major Tufts University study revealed that nearly 40% of people over 60 have B12 levels low enough to affect nerve health. Most of them didn't even know they were deficient. In that same research, those lacking B12 were far more likely to suffer frequent cramps and significant leg weakness than those with healthy levels. But the good news? Replenishing B12 can change everything. In one clinical trial, seniors who took 1,000 micrograms daily saw a 45% improvement in muscle function within 3 months. Beyond easing cramps, B12 actively repairs damaged nerves and even helps create new ones, improving the way your muscles respond to your brain's commands. Here's the catch. As we age, our stomachs make less acid, and acid is crucial for absorbing B12 from food. That means even if you eat plenty of B12-rich foods, your body may not be getting what it needs. This is why I often recommend methylcobalamin, an active form of B12 that skips the stomach and gets to work right away, especially in sublingual, under-the-tongue form. How do you get enough? Most older adults need 500 1,000 micrograms daily, a safe amount far higher than the old recommended daily allowance. B12-rich foods include beef liver, clams, salmon, fortified cereals, and nutritional yeast, but for many seniors, a supplement is still essential. The beauty of B12, it's water-soluble, so any extra simply leaves your body. Let me tell you about Eleanor, a 74-year-old grandmother from Arizona. She came to me last spring, upset that her once active lifestyle had slipped away. Her legs felt heavy and unsteady, and she'd begun avoiding her evening walks because the cramps were unbearable. Her B12 level, just 230 picograms per milliliter, technically within range, but nowhere near optimal for nerve health. We started her on 1,000 micrograms of methylcobalamin daily, taken sublingually each morning. Within 5 weeks, she noticed fewer cramps. At 3 months, she reported that her legs felt awake again. The best part? Eleanor was able to return to her favorite activity, line dancing at her local senior center, something she hadn't done in nearly 2 years. If you're over 60 or taking acid-reducing medications, talk to your doctor about sublingual or even injectable B12. And don't forget to check your levels at least twice a year. Aim for 500 picograms per milliliter or higher, with many experts recommending closer to 800 for optimal nerve and muscle function. Vitamin B12 can restore more than just strength. It can bring back confidence in how you move. And that brings us to number 1, a vitamin that takes everything we've talked about to a whole new level. Number 1, magnesium, the unsung hero for your muscles. And now we've reached the top of our list, magnesium. Technically, it's not a vitamin at all, it's a mineral, but don't let that fool you. When it comes to preventing painful cramps and bringing back muscle strength, magnesium is the real game changer. Here's why I call it essential. Magnesium is involved in over 300 reactions in your body, most of them connected to muscles and nerves. Every time your muscles contract, calcium flows in. To relax, magnesium has to push that calcium back out. If you don't have enough magnesium, your muscles can't fully relax. Instead, they stay tense, weak, and primed for those agonizing cramps that can jolt you awake at night. And the numbers tell a powerful story. In a 5-year study of over 4,000 seniors, published in the Journal of the American Geriatrics Society, those with the lowest magnesium levels experienced 7.5 times more leg cramps than those with healthy levels. But here's what really got researchers' attention. When participants took 400 milligrams of magnesium citrate daily, their cramps decreased by 86% and their leg strength improved by 58% over 6 months. Many said it felt like they had turned back the clock by 10 years. But magnesium's magic doesn't stop there. It's critical for making ATP, the energy your muscles run on, and for building new muscle proteins, which means it helps combat age-related muscle loss. Without it, you're not just more prone to cramps, you're also more likely to feel drained and weaker over time. Unfortunately, this is where modern life works against us. Magnesium levels in food have plummeted over the last 50 years because of soil depletion from farming. Add to that the fact that seniors absorb only about 30% of the magnesium they eat, and it's no wonder deficiency is so common. To make matters worse, certain medications, like diuretics and acid blockers, cause even more magnesium loss. So how do you fix it? First, choose the right forms. Magnesium citrate or glycinate are the best absorbed, with glycinate being gentler on the stomach. Most older adults do well with 400-600 milligrams daily, split into 2 doses. Taking magnesium at night can also help you sleep better, a bonus for anyone struggling with restless nights. Yes, you can get magnesium from food. Pumpkin seeds, spinach, and even dark chocolate are good sources, but to reach therapeutic levels, supplementation is usually needed. Let me share a story. Harold, a 79-year-old retired carpenter from North Carolina, came to see me after years of severe nighttime cramps. He told me, "Doc, I dread going to bed because I know I'll be up screaming at 2 a.m. He tried stretching, pickle juice, even sleeping in a recliner. Nothing worked. His magnesium level was just 3.9 milligrams DL, well below the optimal range of 5.5 to 6.5. We started him on 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate 3 times a day with meals. Within 2 weeks, his cramps had cut in half. After a month, he was finally sleeping through the night. And at his 3-month check-in, Harold told me something that made my day. "I got back out in my workshop. I'm building birdhouses again. I feel steady on my feet." That's the power of magnesium. It's not just about stopping cramps. It's about restoring strength, energy, and confidence in your body. For best results, don't take magnesium at the same time as calcium. They compete for absorption. Space them at least 2 hours apart. Pair magnesium with vitamin D to enhance absorption. If you notice loose stools, lower your dose or switch to glycinate. And for those with severe deficiency, topical magnesium or Epsom salt baths can add extra support while soothing sore muscles. When it comes to restoring leg health, magnesium may be the single most impactful change you can make. Now that you know the 3 essential vitamins that can transform your leg health, let's talk about something just as important: the way you use your muscles every single day. Many people believe that once they start taking the right supplements, their cramps will disappear and their strength will magically return. But as a physician who has worked with older adults for years, I can tell you this: nutrients alone are not enough if you aren't using your muscles the right way. This is one of the biggest blind spots I see in my patients. They're faithfully taking their vitamin D, B12, and magnesium, but their legs still feel weak. Their cramps still come back at night, and they can't do the things they once enjoyed. Why? Because they're making the same 3 mistakes that nearly every senior I meet makes. The encouraging part is that these mistakes are completely reversible. And when you correct them, you can see dramatic changes in your leg health in just weeks. Research confirms what I've seen in my practice. When proper movement habits are combined with the right nutrition, leg strength can increase by as much as 74%. These aren't complicated workouts or expensive therapies. They're small, science-backed changes that work with your body's natural healing processes. Think of them as everyday habits rather than exercises. You don't need a gym membership or special equipment. All you need is a chair, some awareness, and a willingness to change the way you move. The first habit I teach my patients is called eccentric loading. It's a fancy term for something simple, focusing on the lowering part of a movement. When you sit down in a chair, most of us just drop into it. But what if you took 4 or 5 seconds to lower yourself slowly instead? That's eccentric loading, and it's a game changer for building leg strength because your muscles work hardest during this lowering phase. You're not just sitting, you're training. In fact, a University of Tokyo study followed 115 older adults who practiced eccentric chair movements for just 10 minutes a day. After 12 weeks, their leg strength increased by 52%, and the frequency of their leg cramps dropped by 71%. They weren't breaking a sweat or going to a gym. They were just learning to move with intention. Here's how to do it. Stand in front of a sturdy chair. Cross your arms over your chest or keep them at your sides for balance. Slowly count to 5 as you lower yourself down, barely touching the seat, then stand back up at a normal pace. Start with 5 repetitions 3 times a day. Do them during TV commercials while your coffee brews or before meals. In just a few weeks, you'll notice your legs feeling steadier, your movements more controlled, and your cramps less frequent. The second habit is about timing your movement. Most people don't realize that their muscles have a circadian rhythm, an internal clock, just like their sleep cycle. Research from Harvard Medical School found that leg muscles are up to 40% more responsive to strengthening activities between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. That means if you take a walk or do light exercises during this window, you'll see faster, more noticeable improvements than if you do the same activity in the evening. But it's not just about when you move. It's also about how you distribute that movement. Instead of taking one long walk each day, try breaking it into 3 shorter 10-minute walks. This technique, known as exercise snacking, keeps your muscles engaged throughout the day and reduces the stiffness that often leads to cramps. Studies show this approach improves leg strength 38% more effectively than doing a single session. The third habit is strategic hydration. Most people know they should drink water, but few realize how directly hydration affects their muscles. Your muscles are nearly 80% water, and even mild dehydration can reduce your strength by up to 30%. But here's something surprising. It's not just how much you drink, it's when you drink it. A study from the Sports Medicine Institute of South Africa found that drinking 16 ounces of water about 30 minutes before activity, whether it's walking, gardening, or climbing stairs, increased muscle power by 19%. So instead of just sipping water throughout the day, make it a habit to drink a full glass before any activity that engages your legs. These strategies may sound simple, but when used together, they can be life-changing. I've seen it over and over in my patients. Let me share a story about one of them. Martha, a 73-year-old retired librarian from Oregon. When she first came to see me, she could barely climb the steps to her porch without stopping to catch her breath. Nighttime cramps woke her 3 or 4 times a night, leaving her exhausted during the day. She was frustrated because she was already taking supplements, including magnesium, but still wasn't seeing results. We made a plan, continue her vitamin regimen, but add these movement habits. Martha started practicing eccentric chair sits during her morning TV time, taking 3 short walks around her neighborhood late in the morning instead of one long afternoon walk, and drinking a glass of water before each activity. At first, she was skeptical. She said, "Doctor, how could these little things make a difference when I've been struggling for years?" But she committed to trying. Within a month, Martha was sleeping through the night without cramps most nights. By the 6-week mark, she told me proudly, "I walked up my porch steps without stopping for the first time in years." At 3 months, she was doing light gardening again, something she'd completely given up on. She even mentioned she felt more confident when moving around her house, no longer gripping the handrail as tightly when climbing stairs. Her transformation wasn't just physical. She was smiling again, engaging in activities she loved, and telling me how hopeful she felt about her future. These habits work because they address the root causes of leg problems: poor muscle activation, reduced blood flow, and disrupted nerve signaling. When combined with the right nutrients, they don't just relieve symptoms, they create a powerful synergy that restores real strength, balance, and confidence. And the best part? They're simple. They don't require expensive equipment, grueling workouts, or complicated routines. They're just small, intentional changes to how you move and care for your body. If you take away one thing from this, let it be this: your vitamins set the foundation, but your daily habits build the house. When you put them together on nutrition and smart movement, you're giving yourself the best possible chance to reclaim the strength, stability, and freedom you deserve. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's that improving your leg health isn't about one miracle pill or a single workout. It's about creating the right environment for your body to heal and thrive. The vitamins we discussed give your muscles the building blocks they need. The daily habits we explored, from eccentric movements to smarter hydration and better timing, teach your muscles how to work the way they're supposed to. Together, they create a powerful synergy that can change not just how your legs feel, but how you live your life. I've seen patients go from fearing the stairs to climbing them with confidence, from sleepless nights filled with cramps to peaceful rest, from avoiding activities they love to fully enjoying them again. And I know this is possible for you too. So here's my challenge. Start small. Add one habit this week. Practice those slow, controlled chair sits. Drink a full glass of water before your walk. Step outside for a few minutes of midday sun. These little steps may seem simple, but they build momentum, and over time, they can completely transform your strength, stability, and freedom. Your age doesn't define your mobility. With the right nutrients, the right habits, and the right mindset, your legs can carry you further than you think. And if you found this helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend or family member who might need a little encouragement to start their own journey. Together, we can help more people move with strength, sleep without pain, and live with confidence again.